We've seen people compare 2026 with 2016, but what about analog being back in fashion? Before 2025 ended, I saw a few reels talking about how analog is going to be the new trend of 2026. I was very confused as to who even said this, who said this was going to become a trend, and did it actually become a trend? And most importantly, why now? Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a chatty video prepared for you and would absolutely love to hear your opinion and your point of view. But before we do that, I would love to introduce myself. I'm an artist and drummer sharing my art journey, challenges, and what's it like to be a creative and opinions on said topic. If that sounds interesting, you should consider subscribing. Okay, let's start. Now, knowing me, I don't like trends. I never cared about that and I would never change myself for a current trend, although I do like to keep up with fashion trends. Well, I like fashion. But another thing that I like is to look at sociology and the reasons as to why people act a certain way and why something all of a sudden becoming popular. Starting with the obvious reason, and that is that people are sick of technology and are probably overstimulated. This is completely understandable with the rise of AI. More and more people are using AI. We are consuming AI content more and more, even if we don't want to. Example, through ads or memes. People are relying on technology more than ever, and a lot of people find it to be too much or even scary. But this is such a big topic and a completely different one about how AI is changing the way we view the world and internet. So, anyways, back to analog. But listen, even though I do love to spend hours on the internet, okay, maybe not as much as I used to enjoy, I'm not that crazy about technology and I love a lot of analog stuff. When I watched a few videos in which people talked about wanting to use more analog things, this one sentence would always come up, and that is owning the actual thing, whether it is a song, an album, film, or TV series. And can we talk about one advantage that analog has compared to today's streaming services? Don't get me started on how analog doesn't have ads. Isn't that crazy? We are so used to having ads everywhere, having to skip them all the time, or having to pay not to have them. This is something that creates a different experience or simply just ruins it. Like you are listening to an album or playlist and you constantly have to skip. Not an enjoyable experience. Sometimes I want to stop consuming everything ever because of these stupid ads. I don't want to know all of them. I don't want to know their stupid songs they created for those ads. I don't want to know what they look like. I don't want to know about these products, who's sponsoring them, and so on and so on. So annoying. Now, let's talk about why I've personally used some analog stuff even before this trend. As a music fan, I simply just wanted to be a fan, support the band that I like, and have their merch. Official merch is sometimes complicated for me to get, so buying CDs was a pretty good option and enough for me. I, for some reason, remember the day I went to buy my first albums. It was a nice warm day and we went to the CD vinyl merch shop, essentially all band stuff. I didn't listen to a lot of bands, I still don't, I have to change that. And I wanted to buy 21 Pilots or Green Day albums. They only had a Green Day, so I bought Revolution Radio and God's Greatest Band. Now listening to Revolution Radio still reminds me of this warm summer day. And then I started looking for more albums and buying more. And that's kind of how it started. But I want to quickly talk about listening to music online. Obviously, it's such a different experience. You just type in what you want and there you have it. Now you're listening to that song, which is great, right? You can listen to so many different songs from different countries and different levels of fame. But there's this one thing that I find a bit annoying, and it's called an algorithm. So I'm going to use YouTube for this example. You are listening to music, but in what way? Do you choose what song you want to hear next, or does the algorithm choose it for you? When you see the music that's right next to the song that you're listening to, do you again choose the song or does the algorithm choose it? Because when you think about it, these songs that you see, recommended songs, are also what the algorithm thinks you want. Okay, well, makes sense, but is that bad or good or neutral? Okay, now another question. Why are those songs specifically there next to the song that you're listening? Is it because it's similar or by the same artist? Or is it because it's a popular song and that has a lot of views and that you've listened to before or maybe even just once? I have an example. I love Green Day. Their first two albums aren't on any streaming services, which I have to digress for a second. It's so annoying how I can't listen to those albums on streaming services, which is another win for analog and a minus for digital. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Because I can't listen to them on streaming services, I have to listen to them on YouTube. Now, why did I write all of this? Well, besides it being annoying, it's also influencing what we actually listen to versus what we want to listen to. As a big Green Day fan, I've realized I don't listen to my favorite Green Day songs as much as I want to because some of them are not as popular. And I've always found it to be weird, but now thinking about it, is it possible that the algorithm was influencing what I listened to without me even realizing it? So I introduced to you MP3 players or Walkman, or just downloading music onto your computer or laptop. Well, what's the difference? No ads. Number one, hello, I really don't like ads. Number two, when you listen to a song, that's it. You can choose what song you want to hear next. You can go to another folder or playlist to find the next song you want to hear, or you can just listen to the next song that's in the folder. For listening to music on YouTube, you will again see what the algorithm thinks you want. Listen, you don't need to relate to this. I'm just sharing my experience and point of view. This has happened to me with streaming services as well. The first thing that I see when I open the streaming service that I use is what albums I've listened to. And honestly, that makes me want to listen to the same album or albums over and over again and over. I'm not even joking, I would be constantly listening to the same stuff. I don't know if this is because at the top of my head I can't remember all the choices that I have, all the albums that I like. But when I look at my small but nice CD collection, it's a lot easier for me to choose and to not go for the same two albums. Again, this is just my experience and something that I've noticed. I think it might be because I can't see all the options, and that's why I'm not choosing something else. I don't know if this is just me because I personally don't like to make playlists. I either listen to the whole album or make a folder with the songs that I'm currently liking on my MP3 player, but I only put my favorite ones. Let me know if you would like to see more about how I do this, because I'm reorganizing my MP3 player and adding new or deleting old songs. Writing on paper or on a laptop? Which is better? Do you do both? Which one do I do? Okay, well, interestingly enough, for this one, I'm kind of split 50-50. On one hand, I love writing in Word and having the freedom to move things around and change them however I want to. But on the other hand, I need to write things down. That's how I learn and remember. Whenever I'm learning for a test or even when I'm learning a new song on my drums, I need to write everything down. I need to be able to physically highlight something or circle it or write something besides it. When it comes to drums, I need to write down all the important details that are nicely organized. So, in short, to explain this, first writing the original rhythm, then I'll write maybe all the other rhythms, which I will name A, B, C, D, and so on. Or I'll move on to writing fill-ins. If the fill-in comes right after the rhythm A, I will immediately write it next to it, so I know it's connected. It's not crazy science, I just do what makes the most logical sense. For example, I'm writing this essay on my laptop because it's just more practical to nicely put all my thoughts, and it's a lot easier to organize it the way I want to. Writing on paper in this situation is perhaps better for writing ideas and brainstorming, so that when you write your thoughts on paper, you can easily organize them digitally. Also, one interesting fact about me is that I can't finish digital to-do lists. The only way I could complete a to-do list is if it's written physically on a piece of paper with my handwriting written by me. I've made tables in Word dedicated to all Green Day albums and wrote all the songs with their links to drum notes and section for comments. This seems very productive. Keyword is seems. And I spent quite a lot of time making it. Now, did it actually help me learn more songs and was I more productive? Absolutely not. I don't know why, but I just can't do digital to-do lists. So, you know what I did? I made a physical one and now I'm actually using this one. I like the fact that you can write little comments right next to that list and that you can scribble anything that you want. And not to mention that I actually check the notebook all the time to see my progress, while I never look at my digital one. This is definitely such a me thing. I wonder if anyone else relates to this. This is the most important. Now, I'm kind of going on a different tangent, but listen, it's connected. People used to be bored. They used to do one thing at a time. So, for example, they could put a vinyl, cassette, or CD and lay down while listening to the whole album, or maybe they would do light activities that require them to use their brain, like writing or drawing or cleaning the room. I feel like people do this less and less. I'm not saying nobody does it, obviously, but I think it's highly connected to our desire to stop using new technology as much because we want to slow down, to actually take in what's in front of us, to physically own something like a piece of media. I have way too many pictures. I've always had a problem with memory and having way too many pictures or apps. Well, now I only use a few apps, but I don't know what to do with my photos and videos. This is a genuine question. Like, what do I do with these? But for real, I want to have physical copies of my photos, and especially since right now I like creating journal pages and kind of those stuff, I would really like to start doing this as well, but I feel like I need to organize everything nicely before I start. Or maybe that's just me being a Virgo. Well, everything should be organized. Once again, I genuinely don't know where to start. So much data, so much random photos, but I don't want to delete them. Where should I even store them? Listen, I obviously have photos from 2025, 2024, 23, so on. And I want for them to actually exist somewhere. But think about it, if I want to transfer them from my phone to my laptop, it will take a long time, and again, it will take up a lot of memory, but at the same time, I can transfer those photos to a USB, for example, and then I could maybe go and print them. Okay, perhaps these might be the easier options, but when you have a lot of photos, I think this long one is the best. Also, don't get me started on how iPhone stores photos and videos in the weirdest way ever. When I connect it to my laptop, these folders, so many folders, will appear and they're kind of lined up from most recent to least. But if you want to find a specific date or a specific photo, you won't be able to. So it kind of creates these folders based on when those files were created, which is great, but you have no idea why some folders are bigger, others are smaller, and honestly, I just get lost in all those folders. What I would usually do is just start opening every single folder until I find the one which has that thing I'm looking for. So usually when I'm recording videos, I need to immediately transfer them to my laptop or else I won't be able to find them or it will take me a long time. So I've decided that I'm going to start a new journal with the start of this year. And now it's March and I haven't started it. Well, I should probably start it soon. I want to have physical copies of my photos, and especially since right now I like creating journal pages. So on one hand, we have digital photos that you can take easily and anytime you want, which is a big plus. But at the same time, that means that you take photos of everything and sometimes unimportant things that you, for some reason, don't want to delete. On the other hand, with physical photos, you have the ability to take them, move them how you want, cut, glue them, look through them in a photo album, which you can't lie is a pretty nice feeling and a very nostalgic one. Conclusion. I feel like we don't appreciate digital things as much as we appreciate physical or analog things. But throughout this essay, you've seen me talk about how sometimes digital stuff is more convenient, and that is 100% true. Digital stuff isn't all bad, obviously. Being able to listen to your favorite song, film, or show is amazing. Having a folder with many photos and videos is great, and being able to edit digitally stuff is great, and I love it. But I don't think it should come at a cost of replacing physical media. Why not use both?